Okay, good day, everybody. Thanks for watching another video. I'm sitting here with my new friends, Lucas and Emily, and we're in Bocas del Toro, sitting in Isla Colom, and we're going to talk to these really nice people a little bit about their experience, what brought them here, the trials they've been through, and what helped them make their decisions to come out to Bocas del Toro and move to Panama. So let's get a little bit of background and find out who we're talking to and find out what brought them here. So I just met you guys, so I don't know anything. So this is an interview of interviews. So which is amazing because it's real honest. So if you guys don't mind, if you could introduce yourselves a little bit, tell me a little bit about yourselves and where you guys came from.
Yeah. Well, I'm Emily, and I'm 38 years old and was in a career of management and title real estate for 15 years, and it just got a little bit too busy, 60 to 70-hour work weeks, and wanted a change. I've traveled, one of my degrees in college was Spanish, and so traveled a lot over Latin America and got him a little bit interested in traveling. He'd only ever been to Cancun, so I had to widen his horizons a little bit about the rest of the world. And yeah, we just kept traveling, and when we came here, we felt there was something different about Bocas.
Where were you guys living before you came here?
We're from Colorado.
Okay.
So yeah, we didn't live in another country before this. This was our biggest move, but every year we would try to do a vacation with our kids, and then the other year we would go on a vacation just ourselves.
Amazing. How about you, Lucas? What was your past life like?
Yeah, I did territory sales and not quite as many hours, but a lot of travel. Life just focused on work and the rat race. And like Emily said, this was a move to try and slow down and refocus on things that are actually important.
Amazing. Yeah. So how long have you been here now?
We are here about 8 months now. We moved right at the beginning of the year, December 31st, 2024.
Okay. Fresh blood.
Yeah, we're still fresh,
good.
But
good.
Loving it so far.
Good. No, amazing. That's good perspective because there's, it's all still new to you guys, and you're still going through the trials and tribulations and the learning curves and stuff like that. So that's a good perspective to give to people that are watching what we're doing here to see. Sometimes I have people that are 5 years, Aaron that we talked to earlier is 3 years. So you guys being 8 months, it's a whole different spectrum, on what we're doing that. So, are you guys still retired? Or sorry, you retired? You still working? Where are you at? Like, what's your work-life balance like? What are you guys up to now?
Yeah, we'll let him start.
Sure.
Yeah, so I thought I had a career that was going to kind of transition to down here, but then the company wasn't willing to keep me on as a remote worker. So I just switched careers.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, there you go.
And I'm working for a company in the United States remotely.
Okay.
And they don't care where in the world I live, so it works out great for this opportunity.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So that's what everybody, I think, dreams of being able to do if they can come. How about you, Emily?
Yeah. I did quit my career, and I'm just working part-time a little bit for some realtors back in the States. There's different opportunities that have been brought up here, so I'm just taking some time to think about exactly what I want to do, but you don't need as much.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it was just Colorado it was not just Colorado, but you'd always try to buy the best things and the bigger house and the nicer car, and we're fine on our golf cart and our e-bikes. We don't need a Lexus.
No more Joneses to keep up with.
Yeah, we don't
just got to keep up with Jorge.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So it's not the same marketing that you go to the grocery store in the States and everything's making you want more.
Yeah.
Here.
You don't have those options.
No,
there's race A and there's race B, which is okay.
Now you're keeping up with the Joneses is more about like having enough flexibility in your schedule to be able to go to happy hour and things like that. So
make beach volleyball before it's too late.
Than the dollars earned.
Yeah. That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that you guys are finding that balance in life, and I think that's what a lot of people dream of, so that's amazing that you guys are working towards that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So why Bocas? Yeah, why Bocas? What brought you here instead of anywhere else in Panama, instead of any other country? Why Bocas?
So we traveled around a handful of different countries, and we would come back from vacation and think, could we move there? But it was just a dream, and it wouldn't take very long to talk ourselves out of it because we don't like going to a lot of the resort places. It's more off the beaten path a little bit, well, then reliable infrastructure becomes an issue. Reliable healthcare, education for the kids. There just becomes a lot of different things that you have to plug into that equation for it to work. And we went on vacation to Bocas, and we went home and we started thinking, could we actually do it? And there was no red flags to talk us out of it. So we came back to look at it through more of a lens of, could we live here?
Okay.
And we told ourselves we would not sign any contracts or buy anything while we were here, and then we did.
Like, we might be a bad example, but we had traveled enough. One of the places was an island off of Puerto Rico. We'd return there all the time, and we really wanted to move there, but the schooling was not great. They didn't have a hospital on the island. So here in Bocas, we have a hospital. It might not be the prime location. You got to go to the city for real.
But if you break an arm or the kids break an arm,
you're going to get taken care of.
You need emergency care. It's a quarter mile away from the house.
Yeah. And then the schooling here, we toured Tangerine where our son goes, and we both teared up just thinking of the opportunity that our son will get in this island compared to, I don't know, the States had 28 kids in his kindergarten class. It was overwhelming.
Right.
For all of us.
So you have one son?
We have three.
Okay.
Our two oldest are still in the States.
Okay.
They're becoming adults. Well, they are adults.
Yeah.
Electrician and works in radon, but 23 and 20.
Okay. So they're grown.
7-year-old
Yeah.
is here.
Okay. So you have a 7-year-old that's here. Okay. Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Awesome. And, going a little bit in, like you said, schooling. So they go to Tangerine, which seems to be a very popular school here.
Yes.
And you guys are happy with what's going on and the level of education and all that stuff. Like you're pleased with all that then?
Yeah. I know everybody has their own opinions on schooling and what's important, but we at this point didn't want him to have all the same pressures that were back in the States. Like he's 6. Well, he just turned 7. But then just learning French, learning Spanish, that opportunity, seeing people from around the world. He has kids from Israel, from Panama, from
Argentina.
so many, Argentina, all over
Right.
class. And that's just such an opportunity. There's
Romania.
more out there. Yeah, Romania.
Everywhere.
That's a beautiful thing, though.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. So I'm always happy when people with young families have that good experience when they come here and those opportunities. That's amazing to hear. So backing up a little bit, what sparked the idea of saying we're out of here, Colorado, no more? We're going to move abroad. What spurred that on?
So again, it was just a dream we'd always kind of talked about doing. And I think it was something that we found interesting to go move to a different country. But I also think part of it was like just the dream of not doing the careers and being stuck in the rat race that we were stuck in.
Okay.
So there was a couple of things that had the appeal about it. But one of the other things that always kind of made us shy away from it too was the age of the older boys, waiting for them to be able to leave the house and go out on their own. So for us, there was the adventure of it.
But
The just
timing
change
was a
of
big part.
pace, the timing was a big part, and it just kind of all lined up, and it just felt like
A lot of factors, not just
Yeah.
one, but a lot
We
of
wouldn't
factors.
have done it if the kids were in middle school or
Right.
high school. That's a hard time to
Transition,
them.
yeah.
But we transitioned our son in the middle of kindergarten. Our older two had already moved out. We try to fly them out here once a year. We go there to see them still to keep that. I didn't want to just.
Well, and now
abandon them.
WhatsApp makes life a little bit easier too,
Yeah.
right? So not that they care so much about mom and dad at 23.
I know,
I'm sure
they don't
there's
answer
there's
your
girlfriends
messages,
and there's all that stuff. Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, it was the right timing for them transitioning out of the house, and the youngest one being young enough to transition to new schools, new environments.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys know anybody before you moved here, or was it a blind leap of faith?
We knew of one family that lives here, and we met with them for coffee before we came down the second time. But that was it.
Yeah,
Okay.
knew of them just because of my business in real estate.
Just
I
enough to
had done a couple
pick their
deals
brains
with
a
them.
little bit,
Yeah,
things like
see
that. Okay.
How they had moved.
Yeah.
But then when we came here, I'd say the community is almost just overwhelming how many. I'm an introvert, so there are times I'm like, I just need to stay home. There's so many social events. I just need to be at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, the community here is way different than the States.
Yeah, and we adapted to the community and made so many friends so fast. It was we went back to the States for a little bit over the summer. We'd only been here 5 months at that point, and we didn't want to leave. We wanted to go back to see family, but really we would have rather just had all our family come visit us here because this was already home.
Right.
And the little bit of time away for vacation back to the States over the summer, we couldn't wait to get back. It really
solidified our decision.
Yeah, it really confirmed that we'd made the right choice.
That's awesome. So no, that's amazing that you've had that positive side of it, you know. Before you actually did come, and like you said, you met with a family and talked a little bit of coffee and stuff like that. Did you do a lot of other planning and research, and this is not a judgmental question by any means, you know, and I'm not sitting there going, oh, they didn't plan at all. No, but I mean, like, what did you do for planning and research, or what didn't you do, or what do you wish that you would have done more of in planning and research, I guess?
Every Saturday morning, we were the goobers and watched every YouTube channel there is on Bocas del Toro.
Okay.
If you Google or YouTube Bocas del Toro, we watched it.
Okay.
We wanted to listen to their lives, all the different perspectives, see it. We had done research on how to become residents, what the process was. He's a construction background. I'm more of the real estate legal side. We wanted to make sure we moved down here. Is our house going to be taken away? Is our house
going to fall apart?
Hurricanes, that's another issue. The hurricanes, the idea that Panama really is not in that hurricane belt. That was the reason we came here too.
But yeah, I mean, I guess most of our research would have been around just how is property bought and sold, the residency, like she said, the ability to work from. So at the time, we were both still not sure what we were doing for work, so we were asking our current companies, like, do we have jobs in Panama? And so those types of things. But then most of the rest of the research was while we were here for that week to scope it out, interviewing the schools, looking at more of the grocery stores, like, can we get all the amenities here? What's that part of life look like? And so
you guys did do your fair share of diving in.
Not
it was
as
just
much
real
as some.
fast. I mean, it was within a month of vacation we had bought a house.
My experience is but you can't do everything. It's a lot of boots on ground is my experience. Even from my own personal story, it's a lot of no matter how much research you do, until you're here, you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's difficult. I think, like, you know, interviews and chats like this help other people, but I think you really do need to come, you know. So for sure.
You need to come visit, and we, like he has mentioned earlier, we're not the all-inclusive people.
Yeah.
And I don't think that those people who want all that service and perfectly clean and no bugs and it's not going to happen here.
Right.
It's an island. There's still island life. But yeah, you got to come, you got to visit. Probably more times than us. We're a bad example. We just are like, we're doing it.
I think if you want to know my experience as somebody who's been involved in selling hundreds of homes, I think you're a very common story if you want to know something. Okay. So, you know, and that's not me saying you're not special, but there's a lot of people that really just kind of jump in. There is
uncommon for people back in the States or something like that, but it's not that uncommon for people that are
the people you meet here. You're going to meet a lot of it. Yeah,
stories.
that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, absolutely. What, you guys, 8 months, so it's not a long time yet. So what were your expectations versus reality?
So I had expectations that getting something, whether it's a tool, a building material, a repair part for a guitar or something, it'd be really hard to find on the island. There's been a lot more available on the island than I thought I could find. Like I shipped a lot of tools down here that was not needed.
I did the same thing, by the way. They're sitting in my garage rusting too. Yeah.
And then the other thing I was surprised with was how easy it is to get stuff imported from the city, Panama City, David, bringing it in red and blue from the United States. Wherever you need to get something, it's actually not that inconvenient to get stuff brought in. So it was a pleasant surprise.
You're just not going to get overnight delivery or same day like Amazon.
Yeah.
But we expected that. Yeah. You're living a different lifestyle.
We had high expectations of being integrated into kind of local community, and the the local community is very welcoming. Our Spanish is getting a lot better, but that's our only limitation to being more integrated into the local community. In the meantime, though, what I don't think I expected to be as good as it has been is the size and diversity of the expat community. It's like we were at volleyball a while back, and there's 8 people on the court, and I think 7 different countries were represented on the court. So it's been really neat to get to meet people from very diverse backgrounds all around the world. And that community's also been very welcoming. So
I think along with
that's
that,
been awesome.
we got the community faster than I expected. I thought we would come here and have to be lonely for a lot longer than we were, I guess.
Yeah.
But
like you said, you leave us alone sometimes.
Yeah,
I need to lay on the couch and watch a movie.
Yeah. But it was very quick that we figured out different workouts. There's different volleyballs and different stuff that our community stuff, kids, birthday parties all the time. Yeah, there's something every day.
Right.
And if you want to go, there's something every day.
That's amazing though. That it sounds very open armed then.
Yeah.
You know, it's not cliquey. It's not little groups. It sounds like it's very open armed and inclusive then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then she mentioned earlier the bugs. This property, we've actually been really pleasantly surprised the lack of bugs. There's ants and things like that, but it's been really pretty easy. We don't have a lot of biting. We don't have like mosquitoes aren't a problem and stuff, but you could go to another island and they've got no-see-ums or chitras or sandflies.
And we're sitting in the middle of the jungle right now.
We're in the middle of the jungle and we don't have any issues, but you could go to 2 houses down and they might have some little thing that they would deal with. But even all the people that we know who have their unique insect situations, still everyone just deals with it, and it's really not that.
It's dealable. That's what I'm getting from what you're saying.
But like from a real estate perspective, it'd be like if you were coming here to shop out some land, maybe know what you can tolerate, what you can't, and if maybe one lot isn't right just for something that you can't stand, there's probably another spot that would work. So,
right. That's good advice. That's good advice and good experience on that. Yeah.
I thought I'd see a lot more snakes here.
Yeah.
Because people were sending me pictures of boas the whole time, and we have seen no boas. He hasn't seen one snake. I've seen 2 little ones.
Yeah.
But
so it's not that bad.
No.
It's
where we live in the jungle. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like we're literally in the middle of a jungle. Yeah. I woke up this morning to monkeys. Yep. You know, I think every day you guys probably do.
With the rain, they were not happy.
Yeah.
But can't complain. They might wake up a little earlier than you. I'm like, it's 5 a.m. Here we go. It's fine. I live in paradise.
And Bocas del Toro gets rain, and that was another we knew they get 130 some odd inches of rain a year. It's a lot of rain. And I'm from the Northwest originally, so I'm used to like rainy seasons where it's just gray and cloudy and gross for months on end. And here we get the rain, but 2 hours later, the skies open up. It's sunny and it's
rainy
beautiful.
This morning, but it's blue skies.
Can't tell now.
Yeah, I think that's important to talk about. Weather, my experience, weather's like 50% of people's decisions. You know, like weather and environment is really important. So I think that's important because people think of Bocas as being really rainy. And there's a lot of water that falls, but like you said, 2 hours in the morning and then it's cleared up. You know? There's other parts of Panama where you got to get everything done by 11 o'clock and then the rest of the day's done. Yeah. You know, and stuff like that. So I think that's really important.
Pretty rare here. Yeah. It actually, but you look at the Weather Channel and we see it on Facebook all the time. People that are thinking about coming for vacation. It's going to rain the whole time. No, it's not.
Yeah. The weather reports don't mean anything here. The AccuWeather does not accu nothing in Panama. I know. What about cost of living for you guys? How has your cost of living changed from Colorado to Bocas?
Well, we have to put in perspective the cost of living. Housing was a lot more expensive there, so that has decreased immensely. And then just groceries are a lot cheaper because you don't buy unnecessary stuff because there's not that many choices. You get 2 choices. And we do go out to eat more just because there's more social events. But it's cheaper than restaurants in Colorado. When we were back there this summer, our bills were...
Like you go to just a middle of the road restaurant in the United States and it's more than the most expensive restaurant in
Yeah.
town here. And you can also go one street off the main street here and you can feed the three of us for $15. So it's pretty attainable to go out to eat more. Like she said, groceries, they're well, when we moved here, we thought they were pretty similar. And then it seems like the United States had a lot of inflation on the groceries and we haven't seen that. So our grocery bills are less here than they would be up there. Housing cost is less, like she said. Cost of services is less. We don't have a car. We have the e-bikes and a golf cart. So the cost of maintenance on a vehicle is a lot less. You don't have the vehicle payment. You don't have.
We're not driving an hour to get to work.
The car insurance for all the different collision insurances and stuff. So, I mean, as a whole, we took very large pay cuts and we are not missing it.
Right.
Yeah.
We took a 70% pay cut.
Right. But it still balances where you have a better lifestyle, you feel?
Yeah.
I think the most expensive is flying home to see, or flying back to the States to see our kids and grandparents. That's where we spend a little more extra money than
And
we need
another
to.
spot where I would spend a lot of money is hobbies back in the United States. Get into hunting.
Yes.
The sky's the limit on how much you could spend on getting into hunting.
I know.
Take somebody, get into
How much
mountain
did we pay
biking,
per pound for
or
this elk?
I know.
but you choose the hobby.
Yeah.
It's expensive
Yeah.
in the United States, and then the other thing is if you pick an expensive hobby, you make friends who spend a lot of money, make a lot of money, and then there's that again natural need to like fit in with a group of people financially. And here we go find activities where it's dollar beer night and anybody can come and enjoy. And so the group is a lot more diverse. People aren't worried about careers. And so you don't spend, like, the end of the year, you look at your budget and go, where did it all go? And how much went to hobbies? And here, the entertainment is a lot cheaper.
Yeah, the ocean.
So it's a lot easier. It's a lot lower level of entry.
I think that plays big in the cost of living, I think, because entertainment's a big part of our lives, especially like you guys got a young family. So that's also a big part, you got to keep the kids entertained and not bored and stuff like that. So I think that definitely.
Yeah, bowling is now $80 for an hour.
Wow.
Go bowling.
Wow.
I'm like, well, there's no bowling alley here. Sorry, we're going to Starfish Beach.
Yeah. Yeah. I went home last July for the first time in many years, and I was blown away on the inflation. Like, I'm blown away. So I get it. And you guys, like you said, you were gone for 5 months, and you went back, and you're like, So I understand 100%.
So yeah,
challenges. What have been in the 8 months you're here, which is great because the first 6 months I find are the hardest for most people. What has been your guys' biggest challenges? I don't like to say the word negatives, but you know what I mean? But there's good and bad in every situation, right? So what have you guys have to overcome the most that's been the biggest challenges?
I think the manana attitude, just everything's slower. I got used to it, but
she's type A. She wants things done.
I'm learning to
I
deal
live
with
my
it.
life manana. No,
I know.
no big deal.
And it's been hard to get used to.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to it slow, but if somebody says they're going to come to your house, they might be 2 days late. But we have also trusted our beds. That's been a situation. We've hired somebody to get our beds done. They were supposed to be done in April. It's now September and they're not here yet.
Right. Yeah.
That was a learning curve. If you're going to hire anything out, don't try to be a pioneer. Ask for referrals.
Right. Yeah.
So that was a learning curve.
But even that, sometimes the referrals don't turn out for other people too. It's just.
But that was one that was a learning curve. For me, I don't know. I've only got two negatives I can think of. One would be just that we would really like to have a church to go to every Sunday, and we've tried out a couple, but they're local churches speaking Spanish, so they've been very welcoming, but we just don't get a lot out of it.
Right.
But that's on us
because that's just on us. Yeah. So it'll get there.
Yeah.
There's still churches here, just none that are catering directly to us, which I don't expect them to.
Yeah.
We moved to their country.
But it's something that's been a challenge for your faith, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And then the other one is I would really like to buy a boat. but it's just we've got a marina here on the property that's just not finished yet.
Right.
And so waiting for it to become a little bit more lit and secure before I buy a boat.
Right.
So,
and you know the two
chopping
happiest
down.
days in a boat owner's life, right?
What's that?
You know the two happiest days in a boat owner's life: the day you buy the boat, the day you sell the boat, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, but
Well,
living here a boat's not a bad thing. That's
Yeah.
for sure. You know?
Yeah.
So
I guess an inconvenience. It's not a
Mhm.
bad, but the grocery shopping takes a really long time
why?
because you have to go. There are, I think, like 19 or 20 grocery stores around town, but not every grocery store has what you need.
Right.
So if you're following a recipe, I will go to 5 different stores. You get to experience a little bit of that. We
Yeah.
had a birthday party this weekend. I need powdered sugar. It's not at this store. It's not at this store.
Food
It's-
coloring for the frosting.
Yeah, food coloring, the correct food coloring. You can get it all. It just takes longer, which I'm
And learning where it is too, right?
Yeah.
So
learning
yeah,
different
yeah.
stores, which I also came from just ordering it online and delivered to your house or going and doing the pickup.
Yeah.
So it's just been an adjustment.
Right.
But grocery shopping does take.
And then we've also been using PriceSmart
Yeah.
over at W. There's a delivery service that brings it out to the island once or twice a week.
Mhm.
Okay.
So still, you can get anything. It's just more effort than running down to the local supermarket.
Yeah, it's not all in one place anymore. And
Yeah.
well, it's a good challenge, and it's something
Yeah.
people need to know. Like you said, it's not for everybody here. So if you can't handle that change, that's important. I think people should know. You know, you guys have been adapting, which is amazing to that change, but you know, not everybody wants to adapt. So I think that's important information to go out for sure. What about your first few months here with stuff like visas and documents and all that type of stuff? Did you guys have any obstacles to overcome that way, or did you have a fairly smooth
We
transition
had
in?
a good attorney who I speak some Spanish and just assumed I spoke very well. That was hard, but I think his biggest problem, we got speeding tickets, those documents for our golf cart, the
Yeah.
correct insurance and the getting it all correct so we didn't get the tickets. And like, that was not in our budget, the speeding tickets.
That must be a
It wasn't
good
speeding,
golf
yeah.
cart.
They're not speeding tickets, like,
Yeah.
like just tickets.
Oh,
A lot of
okay,
it was
yeah.
a lot of it was related to the import broker that we use.
Okay.
Didn't do like any of the paperwork correctly.
Right.
It's actually still not done correctly. It's like right now I'm avoiding roadblocks because if I get pulled over again, I know I'm going to get another ticket,
Right.
even though I paid everything. So the good news is though, we already have a local resource here that is an amazing insurance agent and we'll be able to get everything done correctly. So just need to get a hold of her and then we'll be good to go. But that was like a learning curve or a frustration, but
Right.
minor, not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But I was laughing because when she was talking about the lawyer, it was like, you guys are going to come to Panama City in a week. And then we're like, okay, well, we kind of need to know a day so we can book the flights. And it was, okay, well, maybe does tomorrow work? We're like, well, no, tomorrow doesn't work. So it was just him trying to get us in for the appointments. And there was a little bit of frustration around that. But
They
it all
operated
went
it.
smooth.
Yeah.
We went into the city, boom, 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 bunch of appointments, came back like a week later or something and did one appointment and it was done for at least our first temporary cedulus.
What visa did you guys come in on? Friendly Nations or?
The property purchase.
Yeah, investment, foreign investment, I think it would be.
Okay. Yeah.
Based off the purchase of the house.
Yeah. Okay. Good. How have you guys changed since you've been here? Like you talked about a little bit about you calming down, but beyond that, like how else have you found that living here has influenced your guys' personality, your life, your stuff like that?
Yeah.
What do you think? How has Bocas already changed you?
Well, I'm definitely more relaxed. It's still a process, but even just friendships. Yeah, I'm an introvert, but I feel like some of the friendships, just getting to different levels on that and appreciating everybody's different story a little bit more. But I just never had that opportunity to make it. It's almost like high school. Like you're around people your age and just, not everyone's our age, but there's just more opportunity for that connection.
Right.
Where everybody, when you go back to the States, is so busy. It's like pick up school in the States, you're in your car the line and you better get through. They'll start honking at you. Here, it's everybody talking to, it's a little overwhelming actually. There's like all the moms like, what are you doing? Can you have a play date? Can you do that? I don't know.
But to look at her from the outside, she was so high strung with work that people were really worried about if this transition would work, because would she be able to adapt to slowing down this much? And it was really pretty scary how quickly she adapted to slowing down. But it's like the biggest thing I've seen also is not just the slowing down, but she talked about the friendships. It's like when you're working that much, you have to put in a lot of effort to maintain or grow a friendship in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're caught up in that. But if you're here and you've slowed down, it's a lot easier to find, grow, and maintain those relationships because you have the time.
Right.
And we're not meant to work that hard and not have friendships. Like, we're meant for personal connection. And so finding that here, she's been just a lot, I don't want to say easier to be around, but
No, it's, no,
like,
I mean,
she's a different person.
there's a lot, there's some people that come here and they have problems and they end up growing further apart because it doesn't solve your problems. Whereas it sounds to me like you guys have actually grown closer together,
Yeah.
you know, which sometimes the challenges can be a negative thing for a marriage, but it sounds like you guys have actually gone, you know, the right way. So that's awesome. You know, that's amazing.
And I used to think of, because our work would be so busy, then in the evenings I would feel guilty about going out and hanging out with guys because I need to be at home, spend time with the family or whatever. And now it's like we have enough time together that I have time to go do a poker night on a Thursday night and go hang out with the guys watching Monday Night Football. And so it's allowed me more time to go hang out and have more close friendships too. So
well, it becomes work to live instead of, you know, it becomes work to live instead of live to work, right?
Exactly.
And that's I think the balance
that
I think most people are searching for, even if you don't know.
Yeah.
So that's amazing to hear that you guys have gotten that very quickly, that balance established. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, that's awesome. If this type of a place can provide that for you guys, that's amazing to hear, you know, that you can get that balance, you know, because it's not, like you said, the hamster wheel anymore,
exactly.
right? So that's great. You guys went through some challenges. What, as expats, what do you think, even to today, you're still challenging as expats? Not necessarily, you know, like the different stuff, but as expats, what do you still see as you're still going through challenge-wise?
Well, I guess I don't really like healthcare. Like,
yeah, like, you know, like for example, you have a 6-year-old, you know, they have health needs, for example, or I don't know, like I don't live here. You guys live here, you know what I mean? Or for example, like you already talked about language barriers and things like that, but as specifically as expats, as foreigners living in a foreign land, you know, what do you wake up and you say, okay, I got to still overcome this today?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, we're still trying to, we're trying to renew our residency. Expires in October. So we have to go to the city. And then I'm like, oh, we're in the city. Let's get mammogram appointments. Let's get these other appointments done, an embassy appointment, just stuff. And it's an expensive flight to go to the city. And then once I get there, I'm like, I don't know how to actually talk. I can do okay on WhatsApp with Spanish, but then if you have to talk to them.
Yeah.
I actually don't even mind that we have to go to the city. What I mind is that when we go to the city, we go to these appointments, I have to wear pants and shoes.
My goal is to never wear socks again. So I get it, man. I get it. You know, if I never wore socks again in my life, I'm with you, brother.
Two blocks and shoes and I got blisters.
Yeah,
I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But I really don't feel discriminated against by any of the locals. I don't feel I don't feel any issues or challenges, really.
No, that's okay, though. That's an answer, you know?
You like to get to do stuff. There's always something to do here.
Yeah.
Like, something, your e-bike might get broken. There's work to do on the house.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly.
If you didn't like working on stuff.
If you don't like
that would be a
working,
challenge.
there's something breaks all the time. Or there's just, you live on an island next to the ocean. There's always projects to do. And if you don't like to do projects, or you have to keep a clean house too, or the bugs will come. You'll get cockroaches.
That's true.
You'll get all that other stuff.
Yeah. Nobody's handing it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta be an active person.
Mm-hmm.
In order to,
That would be for
Your
a lot of
to-do
other
list,
people.
yeah. It was like,
Yeah.
but you enjoy
but
that.
I enjoyed the to-do list and working on stuff. So that's true.
So here's a big question. If you could go back in time and you could do it all over again, the exact same way you've done it, would you?
100%.
Yeah, I wouldn't have changed it at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only, I mean, and the canned answer would be the only thing we would have done is done it sooner. But because, like you said, the ages of the older boys,
Yeah.
that wasn't possible. So, like, literally everything worked out for us the way I think it was supposed to.
Is this home now?
Yeah. This is
I get that feeling from all the other answers.
Yeah, I was
but
like, this is home.
I knew the answer to that question before I asked
My
it. but
grandma and my
yeah.
parents don't want to admit it, but yeah, it's
this
home.
is home. Yeah.
People ask, like, do you think you'll ever move back to the States? And I think at this point, if for some reason, unforeseen reason that I have no idea what it is, that it didn't work out in Panama, at this point, I'd probably move to another country, not the United States.
Right. But the plan is stay long term,
For
grow your lives here, grow your family here, all that type of stuff. Yeah.
our 7-year-old,
Yeah.
hopefully is graduating high school
Yeah.
from Tangerine and Bocas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're talking to you guys. You've been through it all, like up to this point, stuff like that. If somebody was sitting here that just showed up to Bocas today and you were that couple in that coffee shop, what advice would you give you guys 8 months ago?
Don't pack as much stuff. You don't need all this stuff.
Yeah, that would be one. That would be one for
we
sure.
brought too much stuff from the States.
But as far as from a like coming to check it out perspective, because that's kind of where we were in that
Yeah.
coffee shop, was like, are we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
The builder that we worked with also is the one that helped line us up with the attorney for doing all the immigration and stuff. And I've got a tree that needs trimmed, and they've got me the name of a guy to come do the tree trimming. So they've been a very, very good resource for us. I heard someone else explain it as like, it was like pressing the easy button on the, I think it was a Staples commercial, but it's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was pressing the easy button, and he's really helped some of the growing pains.
Yeah, a builder or a realtor.
so-
Get somebody who knows.
Find
Has
somebody
those connections.
reputable.
More than just trying to sell you stuff, but an advisor.
Yeah.
Correct.
Who can
Yeah.
answer those questions and help you through some of it.
Because we probably would have had, would have had a lot more growing pains. And then
We would have picked an attorney off of Facebook because that's who we picked up to make our beds, and it's
Yeah.
working out great. Like,
Yeah.
So
don't use Facebook to help you out.
yeah, find
Yeah.
someone reputable to help
Yeah.
guide you through the process. Because the other thing too we've noticed, especially on like you talk about the immigration, it's like I had back surgery once. Now everyone, whoever's had back pains, talking to each other about you should do this, you should do that. Everyone's problem and everyone's story is different.
Yeah.
And that's what we've seen with immigration stories. Everyone's got way different processes. We had to do this, we had to do that. You didn't have to do this, you didn't have to do that. It's like find someone who's reputable, even if it's a little bit more money, and it's
Yeah.
worth it.
Well, the rules change here fast too. You know,
That's
like when
true.
I came and when you guys came, the immigration process is totally different now.
Yeah.
You know, and that happened in the matter of a couple months, right? So working with the right, for example, immigration, working with the right people that keep up with knowing the changes is also important.
Yeah.
Because if they're not reading the bulletins, they're not reading the laws, changes and stuff like that, and then they can't help you. You know, so I think that's where, like you said, the reputable people is really important, and not reinventing the wheel, you know, with somebody that's been through it. And I always say to people, you know, you meet somebody in a gringo bar and they worked with an attorney once, and you meet me and I've worked with attorneys hundreds of times.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't mean I know everything, but I know the attorneys that keep up with the changes, you know,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
so that's,
exactly.
that's a big difference, right? So guys, it's been an amazing conversation. I think your experience and your answers and your story, it's your story, but I think it really is going to help a lot of people to make their choices and their research. And hopefully, like I said, you guys are now that couple that was in the coffee shop to these new people, but hopefully thousands of people that get to hear your story. So I really, really appreciate it, because the goal here is not selling anybody anything. It's just literally just giving people the tools and the ammunition to help make their decisions.
Yeah.
Like you guys were geeking out every Saturday, and hopefully now people can geek out to you guys. So that's the actual goal for these conversations, for sure. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure the people that are going to watch this really appreciate it. And it was awesome to meet you guys, and hopefully we'll have some beers tonight or something too.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Sounds good.
yeah, for sure. Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate it a lot.
Thanks.